Hi, Christine. I'm Connie Christians. I'm here today to help you with your WordPress dashboard. Look at the menu on the left-hand side. You'll see a lot of different tabs that pertain to all the components that help you build your website. They include posts and pages, media information, author information, contact forms, and comments. We'll go through these one by one as we look at your pages. So let's start with your home page. Find the Home Page tab and just click right here. You'll have a screen that will open up that will display the 4 sections that make up your home page. Let's start with the Welcome section. Click on Edit, and it will bring up the Edit page for that section. You'll see here there's information concerning your Flex Slider. A Flex Slider is just a tool that uses multiple images and rotates them so you can get maximum use of a small amount of space. This clear code just provides spacing between the Flex Slider and the beginning of your text body. And this area is your text body. It's basically a placeholder at this point to give you an idea of where your text goes. Now you'll notice that there's an indentation space here, and this is formatted with code so that it will line up right underneath your Flex Slider when you're looking at the page. You can go over here to the Text tab, click on that, and it will show you what the code looks like behind the scenes. Well, let's take a look at this section. Go over here to Preview Changes and click on that. Another tab will open up and it will display what the Welcome section looks like on your website. You'll see the Flex Slider here, and if you go like this on the little buttons here, it will rotate through images. We don't have any images uploaded yet, so you're just seeing a placeholder. And down here is your text body, and see how it's formatted to fit right underneath the Flex Slider. The information you didn't see is the title and the subtitle up here. So go back to the Edit Section tab, and I'll show you where that's at. Scroll down, and on the bottom half of the page, you see different options here. One is for the title, and one is for the subtitle. You see the Welcome right here. And then as far as the subtitle goes, it says here this text will appear below the title and inside the curly brackets. So that gives you a good idea of where this information is going to appear. And you'll notice here that there's different code along with your text. This little piece of code enables the icons to show up. I'll show you where to find this code a little bit later. Next, you have background image. Each content section on your home page can have a little bit different image in the background to distinguish it from the other sections. Once you've made changes, you update your page, and your page goes live with all of your changes. So now you know how to add a title, a subtitle, and the body of your message on your Welcome section. I encourage you to create some text here that's very personal to your website and welcomes your visitor, since this is the first thing they see on your homepage. Now let's go to the next section. Click on Homepage in the menu, and it will take you back to your different sections. Let's look at Meet the Artist next. Click Edit, and you'll see there's not very much on this page, but one line of code. It says Authors Category. So let's take a look over here in the menu under the Authors tab. If we click on Authors, we can see that there's one author, and that's you. The rest of these are in draft form, so they won't show up. And I imagine these were probably samples that were generated by the theme. So let's take a look at you under Edit. And here's some information talking about your interests and your background. And you'll see here a little piece of code for an icon. And what that is a little check mark. And all of this Latin here, you can replace with different bulleted points about your skills and qualifications if you like. If you don't want any of this, you can simply highlight it Click delete and make it go away. Scrolling down, there's a little bit of information here that you can put in for the image caption. To add an image, you would come over to Set Featured Image, click on that, and it will take you right to your image library. Now, I've uploaded a few images here, so we'd have extra images to play with. So for right now, let's select the truck. You can add some alt text here. It might say your name, Christine. And the alt tag is important to add some sort of descriptive term here, because just in case a browser or a device does not display the image, it will display a piece of text so that the viewer knows that there's something there, and they can allow that image to display on their device or their browser. Let's set this as the featured image. And we'll leave the text for right now because it does have some things about you here. And if you want to choose a category, for instance, if you have multiple authors, you can set them up in different categories. This will be important if you had a writing team and an art team and a marketing team. You might want to set up 3 different categories for those people. In your case, you probably don't need a category if it's just you. So let's update the changes and see what happens. Okay, preview changes again. Click on that tab and it will generate the page, and we can see it's Christine. There you are with your information, the little checks with the bullet points, the featured image with the caption. So go back to that edit author page really quick and we'll recap. Here's your information or the text body right here. You scroll down and you can see the image and the caption. Now you know how to build your author page, and you can always go here and edit it and change it. Before we leave, I'm going to do a few changes using the toolbar. Let's say we want to make the first sentence bold. We'll go right here, select the first sentence, make it bold, and let's say we want to make it a different color. Select text color and make it red. And there you go. Let's move this next section down. And you've created a highlight sentence at the top. Let's say, for instance, you also want to make this type a little bit bigger so it shows up bigger than the rest of the paragraph. You can select any size heading here. Let's go with heading 2. And you'll see automatically it's a lot larger. Save your changes by clicking on Update. And we can go to View Author, and it will take you right back to the page where you can see your changes. Now, I used red and I used that big heading text just to be illustrative of the point. You can make this anything you want. And change this back by taking off the bold, making the color black, and changing the heading back to paragraph. Now you've got just your main sentence again. Now let's go back to home page and look at another section. My best work is the next section up, so click Edit to open that screen. Again, it's just one piece of code right here, and this tells you it's your portfolio category. It's going to display everything that's in your portfolio. So let's take a look at the menu on the left, and you'll see Portfolio as a tab item. Let's see what's in your portfolio. Well, there are a lot of images, it looks like, and they've been categorized to fit in different areas. I've added one up here called Clouds, and I've built a new category for this. So I'm going to show you right now how to build a new portfolio item. Go up to Add New Item, and this will open up a new post screen. We're going to title this Daphne the Dog, because I have a cute picture of my daughter's little chihuahua in here. So I'm going to add a caption really quick. Daphne sleeping. Go over to Set Featured Image, select an image, and there's Daphne. You can see different information about this image up here. You can edit this image by changing the size, the orientation, and so on. And you can delete it from your library permanently with this button. So Daphne has a title. She already has a caption. And the alt text just simply says Daphne. So let's set this as a featured image, and you see her little picture shows up right down here. Let's either select a category or add a new category. Since we already have animals, let's select animals. And if you wanted to add a new category, you could simply click on this, type in the new category, and add it with this button right here. So we have Daphne in the animals category, and we want to take a look at it before we actually publish this page. So let's use the preview button. Oh, that's really cute. Now let's take a look at your whole portfolio. We can go back to the home page right here by clicking on Christine Perry Studios. And now we can visit the site, scroll down, look for My Best Work, and go to Animals. She's not there yet, is she? That's right, because we just set a draft. We have not published this page yet. So let's go ahead and publish it and see what happens. And now look on the portfolio page. Now you see Daphne. You can go to Animals, and there she is again. Okay, so if we don't want Daphne the dog to show up quite yet on the portfolio, we can always change the status. Since we went ahead and published it so we could see how it looks on the website, let's return it to a draft form again. Click Edit, select Draft in the drop-down, and click OK. Now you're going to save your changes by clicking on Update, and the status is now Draft for this portfolio item. So now you know how to build a portfolio item. Let's go back to the portfolio section. So that was My Best Work. Let's look at the contact section on your home page. There's quite a bit of code here. You'll see the last part is your contact form, which you can build using the Contact tab in your menu. Let's take a look at your contact forms. You already have one here called Contact Form 1, and you can always build another one if you like by clicking on Add New. But let's take a look at your current contact form. Click Edit, and it will open up some code that tells what your contact form is going to look like. You'll see that there are presets here for the visitor to input different information, like their name, their email, and the subject. There's another place where they can submit the answer to this question, what can I create for you? You can modify this information and save it. This information at the bottom here tells the contact form where to send the information after the visitor submits the contact form. It's going to go to Christine at ChristinePerryStudios.com. It's going to show the name and the subject, and you'll probably see some body in the text when it comes to you. So for instance, it will look like this in your email inbox. There will be messages that will be automatically generated when the visitor sends the contact form to you. It'll either give them a success message or a fail message. There will be other messages that will come into play if there were problems. And that's the extent of your contact form. We didn't change anything here, so I'm not going to save. You can delete it, and you can duplicate this as well to create a second form and modify it if you like. So let's take a look at what the contact form looks like on your web page. Let's go up to Homepage, and let's view the contact form. There it is. We can click our name in here. We can put our email and a subject line and submit. So let's go back to your context section of your homepage to see what the title looks like and what the subtitle looks like. And remember, you scroll down to the bottom half of the page, and there it is. Let's go back to the WordPress dashboard again. I want to take a look at some of the other pages that you have on your website. Scroll down to the Pages tab, click on All Pages, and here's a selection of all the pages on your website. Let's go to Own a Piece of Art and click Edit. And here we are on the Edit screen for that page. You see we already have a heading that's been formatted. You have a bullet list that's formatted, and there's italicized type here. And you also have a hyperlink. If you clicked on this, it would drive you to a new page on your website. And you also have a contact form right here at the bottom. Let's take a look and see what this page looks like. And here is your Own a Piece of Art page. You have your heading, you have your bullet list, you have a hyperlink that drives you to commissioned work, and you have your contact form. Let's take a look at this hyperlink. Click on that, and it takes you right to your commissioned work page. It looks like it's been formatted too, with a title, a text block, and some columns, along with an image and some other text at the bottom. And you have a contact form too. Let's go to the top of the page, to the WordPress toolbar, and let's build a new page. I'm going to call this a sample page. And we're going to put in some text and manipulate it using the toolbar at the top. I selected a nice piece of text that talks about creating portraits. I want to create a header, so I'm going to move this piece of text down and highlight the first sentence. There we go. And I'm going to make it bold. I'm going to make it green. And I'm going to put it in a heading. Let's pick heading 1. That's very large type. I'm going to create a bulleted list with these 2 sentences here. And there we go. And it's as simple as that. If you want to change this bulleted list to a numbered list, you simply select this icon and it replaces the bulleted list with numbers. Let's make a block quote. The block quote tool simply formats text so that it's centered and it's set apart from the rest of the paragraph. And we'll take a look and see what this looks like a little bit later. I'm going to click the Enter key and turn the block quote off so the rest of my text isn't in a block quote. I'm going to add a horizontal line. I'm going to paste in some new text and show you how to align your text using 3 different options. This is align left, and it's already aligned to the left. This is align center, and this aligns the text to the right. And this will come in handy when you start inserting images and different kinds of graphics and you want to move your text around. For right now, I'm going to put it in the center and click Enter, and I'm going to take that alignment back to left for the next group of text. Let's create a hyperlink. Down here you have created portraits in your text. I'm going to select that and go to the Insert Link tool. When you click on that, another little window comes open and you have a space for a URL and a title. You can also choose to open this link in a new window or not. We're going to leave this unchecked for now. And you can search for a page. If you have a high number of pages and posts, this is a good way just to put in a search term and it'll populate what you want. We're going to take this particular link to commission work. When you click on that page, it automatically populates the URL and the title. Click on Add Link, and now you have a link that drives to another part of your website. You'll see it's highlighted and it's in a different color. If you have a link that you no longer want, you simply go up to the Remove Link tool and take it off, just like that. I'm going to leave the link on for right now. There's a button here called a toolbar toggle. This is important if you just want to deal with a condensed version of the toolbar. I usually expand it and leave it open because these are some of the tools I use frequently. The next section of tools that you see has to do with formatting columns. Paste in some more text, highlight it, and put a column code on it. When the column code is inserted, you will see an opening tag and a closing tag. This is the code that tells this bit of text to become a 1/4 column. Insert some more text. We'll select that, and we're going to make a half-page column now. You will see an opening tag and a closing tag. Going on to the next tool, it's a line separator. It's a horizontal line, but it doesn't take up the whole page. The rest of these icons, I'm going to show you how to copy and paste those from another page just a little bit later. Click Enter, paste some more code, and I want this particular code to be all in italics. I want it to show up red, and I want to underline it. I also want to justify the text. Here's the justify icon. Click on that. If you have a need to add special characters, there's a button for that too. Click on this, another window opens, and you can select any of these characters. There's ampersand, there's a copyright sign, different trademark signs. There's even little icons at the bottom with all different sorts of special characters. Let's add a heart, and there it is at the end of the sentence. Click Enter. We're going to paste in some more text, and we want to indent this text. Go up here to this particular icon where it says Increase Indent. You can press it multiple times. It's just like inserting a tab. If it's too much of an indentation, you can decrease it. This increases and decreases 30 pixels at a time. If you want to change how many pixels that is indented, simply go over to your Text tab, click on that. We'll scroll down to the bottom, and we're going to find that piece of code for that indentation. It's called padding in HTML. And you see here it's 60 pixels. Let's change that 60 to 45. That's a subtle difference, but you have a way to adjust this to fit any of your needs. Let's go back to the visual screen. Scroll down, and you can see this is indented 45 pixels, and this section is indented 60 pixels. It's a nice way to create a different look with your text. Now we've used almost all of these tools up in the toolbar. Let's go take a look and see what this page looks like. I'm not going to publish it. I'm going to preview it. And here you see the green header. That's the heading 1 text. You see your numbered list. You see the block quote. And this is a stylized way to present a testimonial or a quote. Here's our horizontal line. Scrolling down, this is our justified text. This is our text with our hyperlink, and you can see that when you hover over it, the little title comes up for where the link goes. In this case, it goes to commission work. Scroll down a little bit further. You can see the columns that we created. Here's the 1/4, and here's the 1/2. And here's the separator, that small horizontal line. And here's the paragraph that we coded to be red with an underline and in italics. And if you look at the end of the line, there's that little heart symbol we put in. And lastly, this is the group of text that we indented. This is the 45 pixel indentation, and here's the 60. I'm going to leave this sample page in your library of pages as a draft. You can come here anytime and look at how I coded it and use it for building your pages and posts. Now let's check out one last page before we end the video. Let's go back up to the dashboard and select Pages. And there's a page at the bottom of the list called Styles. Open that in the Edit screen. And what you're going to see is all of the different shortcodes that this theme provides in terms of fonts, your separator, your lists, your columns. And this is that checklist with the check mark. There was one with a star and an exclamation point. Scrolling on down, you can see all of these different things coded out for you. There are tables, there are different ways to highlight text, put in images, and buttons. So let's preview this page really quickly. Remember, this is in draft form. This will not be published on your site. It's another reference page for you to use when you're building your posts and pages. And now you can see how all of those lists and headings and columns look. This is a great reference tool. I hope you refer to it often, and it helps you while you're building your website.